who handles long distance better, men or women? Be honest.
I feel like men handle it better because they get the opportunity to do the nonsense they are doing.
That's not handling it well.
What is handling it well now?
When it just comes to emotional, like the way their mind works versus the women's mind works, I think men do handle it better.
Discernment is so important that the fact that money is involved does not make it right.
Very true. Where possible, make time to see each other. It's not healthy for you to be that long without any physical contact.
Especially when you're in a marriage.
Yeah, especially marriage where you are committed to that person is not healthy at all. That is one thing we forgot to talk about: boundaries. In long distance relationships, boundaries are important. If you don't set those boundaries, you will fall.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Beyond 30 podcast. Today's going to be an exciting one. We're going to be talking about, actually this one is for my long distance people. If you've ever been in a long distance relationship, in a long distance marriage, and all of that whole like distance, anything distance, this episode is for you. It is, and also like even if you've not been in this long distance relationship, you want to try it, you're like, I'm curious what happens in those. Yeah, we're going to be talking a lot about that today, and the title is going to be, can love handle distance in relationships? So whether it's just boyfriend and girlfriend, or you're courting, or you're in a marriage, can love survive long distance? So, over to my ladies. Have you ever been in a long distance relationship?
Yes.
Okay.
I was not ends well. I mean, it didn't end badly.
Right.
I just realized that, man, this isn't for me. Like, can we talk to people that we can see?
Right, yeah. Were you in love with the person?
That's a good question. I think initially, but then as the relation, so this is the thing with long distance, there's a lot of pressure. Because you're not together, even the smallest texts can be taken out of context. Right? Something that you're probably saying out of just jests or something can be just taken to a different dimension. And before you know, you're having an argument over something that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But also, we were also in slightly different times of our lives. Like, I was a student and he was working.
Okay.
And so I had all the pressures of university. I had my dissertation happening. I had my finals coming. And interestingly, at the time that all this was happening, remember, this is years ago. That was when we didn't have like WhatsApp that you can just WhatsApp the person. This is, you're going to get a phone card, a calling card.
Right.
To call the person. And then sometimes you're on the phone, you guys are busy having an argument, you haven't even said anything sensible, and you just hear, you have 1 minute left. So yeah, that was it.
Okay.
Maybe now it will be easier.
Yeah. It's almost 7 years ago because I'm at Skype. I mean, yeah.
So this was slightly before Skype, so Skype was new at the time. But even then, do you guys remember that Skype used to have credits as well?
Yes.
So that's if you are,
but you credits,
but if you are using internet, like a proper internet Wi-Fi call.
Now think on. Okay, no. Yeah, it had credits, but the credit was only for 1 more year.
Yes, but what does it mean? How many people had stable internet?
Yeah.
Sure. So that was an issue. Sometimes you'll be talking to the person, it will be boshroom.
Yeah, there was a shooter, but that is true. How about you?
Yeah, I've been in long distance, and so the relationship started out as we were in same place, and then we transitioned into long distance. Okay. And long distance obviously is not as interesting as when you are with the person. So, and in terms of what Kome said, there's a lot of with long distance. There has to be trust. Yeah. Ain't much more trust than you meet when you're right there with the first, and because person is in some other place, and if they say I'm here, you have to be at their head. Unfortunately, personally, runs has
about you should be location.
Oh, location sharing. There's location sharing. Yeah. Location sharing. Yeah, true. But that one,
And that's something couples can do right now for accountability in long distance. Then we didn't have application. Then we didn't have FaceTime. We didn't have WhatsApp video call. We didn't have all this. There was Skype too. There was Skype. No, actually, there was FaceTime. I remember using FaceTime, but FaceTime was relatively new. There was also Skype, so we used Skype to talk about that. But it's never the same as the person being in like the space. Yeah, in the same space.
yeah, interesting. I think most of my relationships were maybe long distance. If in my except for my marriage, but like my husband, we were dating long distance before.
It was fun to do. I don't know. Well, so here's
When you were saying something about like because you're in the same space, you can enjoy the relationship. So before I did long distance with my husband, I had done long distance with other people, right? So, and obviously those didn't work out. And a big part of it was the trust thing. I think some of them didn't trust that I was good. But I was being good.
not of all people though. Why would
No,
they
but
trust
that's the thing. Like, it's because, well, even though, like, in my mind, I'm thinking there's no reason for you not to trust me. But the truth of the matter is, if a guy is not secure, like, if he's, there's a word for it. If he's not, it's not inferiority complex. If he's not, they get very sensitive. Like, if you talk to any boy, they get like very like they're like, oh, why are you with that boy?
See where that's come from. He's a very friendly person.
Yeah, because I'm very friendly in nature.
Yeah,
right.
And misinterpreted. yeah.
Because I'm very friendly in nature. It doesn't matter if you're a girl or a guy. If you're a guy, like I might also be so not so there's parts of it. Like, I think I did some learning too, like during long distance. There's parts of it too where I think I may have been a bit oblivious to like the other people that I was friends with, because me, I'm just thinking, oh, we are friends now. What's the big deal? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not thinking anything. It was not till later, like, I'm learning that, oh, you guys are kind of visual.
Yeah.
Well, I knew that. Well, no, I would say I knew. I would say like I wasn't that. I was just a general like nice person. I didn't think too
I
much.
have a question to ask.
Yeah.
So are you saying that when you were in long distance relationships, sometimes you take photos with those your so-called friends and your partner would see them or things like that, or you say you're going to parties with all those your male friends
Yeah, but it's not.
and you share details?
So yeah, but so that's the thing. Like, it wasn't me going to those parties with them. It was like we were all in the same community. For example, I'll give an example. Like, we go to church, right? This person is also in the same church, but we live in the same neighborhood, right? You see them in church. I'll gist you about the person. If I don't gist you about the person, then that's when you know that
Oh,
they
you have something to write.
yeah, like
you are free to-
I'll just say, but the gist I'm able giving you is like maybe gist about who the person is even dating too. Like, it's not like I don't know how to explain. I can see where that comes here. I can see why somebody might be insecure. So the word I was looking for was insecure. So if a guy is insecure, they're going to question every single thing. I think part of the problem was, fine, I'm in a place where like my boyfriend is not in, and I'm a young woman, other boys are interested, other guys are interested, and they will approach you. But I can't control those. Do you understand what I mean?
Sure.
I can't control that. Okay, if I go to the library, someone will come and say hi, or if I go to church, you meet people at church, or if I go anywhere. I think that's where the real issue was. And I think that's one of the things with like long distance is like, if you don't really trust the person, and if you're also an insecure person, then you already know long distance is not for you. It's simple. That's just what it is. You don't have to do it. Like, it's not something that's compulsory as a person that you have to experience. If you know the type of person you are, if you're dating somebody before you're about to travel, end it and let everybody kind of move on. You know what I mean? Because I know they do it a lot here. Like, once you're dating somebody in university and then you get a new job and you have to move, it's like, sorry, this can't work out. Because, I mean, technically, it's not everybody that can handle it. But me, I felt like I could handle it. And the other person did not seem to care that, like, I didn't get a pin to, oh, this person can't handle it, right, before leaving. Do you understand in here? So, but I mean, there's multiple ways to think about it, right? But yeah, well, I did I did a few long distance relationships, and then I did with my husband. It was also long distance, but the difference is with my husband, I think maybe because I already knew him from like before. You know what I mean? Like before we even became adults, like full on adults, I already knew him somewhat in my head, and also like in my spirit, in my mind, I just felt at peace. So I didn't have to think too much. What's this person doing? What's this person not doing? I also in previous relationships I dealt with like people who are question their whereabouts. So I know when I can't question somebody's whereabouts. Plus, then we had Skype. By that time when I was dating my husband, we had Skype. We could be on Skype the whole day, almost every day.
Oh, that's interesting.
Do you know what I mean? So that's why I'm like, it's two ways. I feel like if you're doing long distance and you're not, it's very hard to trust people if you don't know them. If you didn't know them before, yes, right?
I see what you mean.
You can't. I feel like it's hard. You can't view it. But if you knew them before, and you trust their character, you trust the way they are, like you know their moral standing, you feel like, okay, I'm just doing this. Yeah, it's kind of easier. But otherwise,
What about those people that, in your long distance, for example, for your husband and perhaps some of these people that you dated, you had met them before and then long distance. There's some people that I never seen you before. I just saw your picture. Maybe we just saw online or something. And we start dating from seeing your picture. I never met you before then. Maybe eventually they plan to meet. So what do you say about that? At the time when they've not yet met, but they've already seen pictures, seen profile and started dating. Can that really be considered like this?
See, yes, you had to have a level of naivety for it to work. I am not that trusting. So that you'll not be one guy in one weird place with a bold head and victory catfishing me. I'm not that, no, I'm not that trusting. Well, some people do it and it works for them, and I'm just like, wow, you dated someone you had never seen.
I know somebody who did it. They did not meet. So me, I have my own level of long distance. So I have my own level, but this person went like another level.
Level one.
Who not all met the person. I think that they have to have a special kind of conviction about this person. Now it might be right, it might not be right. That conviction might be right, but the person might also be like, you must be a risk taker.
That is not
also many things that can go wrong. One,
it's not just
take your heart.
there has to be a different word for that. That's not risk taking.
So it's more than risk, it's more.
Because think about it, like there was this story I saw. So you know the show Catfish, right? This person had a family in a different state, right? But they had been in a relationship with this girl for like 7 years, and she never found out.
Because it was long distance.
But did she ever do video?
They met on Facebook.
I know they were families now around.
Yes, no, you can do video. Maybe when you're going to work, when you're on your way from work, maybe you're at the gym.
Even when you're at home, let's say your family members have gone out and you're at home.
And you just
It's very easy. That is easy to fake. You don't call doesn't mean anything.
Anyway, this girl thought she has had a boyfriend for 7 years. Boyfriend that is somebody's daddy. Oh, no, please. In fact, why would you do that to yourself?
More things can even go wrong. One, you can often. I think height's always the greatest shock. When you first meet someone that you only be seeing of, you like, you must. How was I first?
Oh yeah, that episode. Okay, no. So okay. So I did this my husband for like 6 months or whatever, and then I was done my master's. I'm like, okay, now like we're trying to like actually see, because I had not seen him like since a very long time, right? Before we started the long distance. So when I eventually decided to book these stuff, that's when I now started having like, hey God, if I see him now, will I actually be attracted?
Because I've always seen on video and all that.
If you see on video, you've been talking, you've been hearing the person's voice, but you've not been in his living space. So here's the thing. I think that if you're doing long distance, before you actually commit to anything there, like so engagements or marriage, you must actually find a way to be the same if you're on space.
I'm sorry, did you say engagement is too far? I'm sorry. You can meet on social media. You can meet always.
You don't know that they think abroad. Husband is abroad, wife is a long distance throughout. Then until they seal the marriage with a traditional before the woman will be looking for actually.
That is Aaron's. What do that? That is a mental illness. No, that is
too.
Because when you meet someone, when you're in the same space with someone, that's when you can now gauge, do we have sexual chemistry?
I see, and too far. We talked about height. There's mouth odor, there's body odor. Height and
Particular height and mouth odor are not even as bad as chemistry. This is someone you want to get married to. Like, do you know that there's sometimes that someone touches your hand and you're like, oh my god, that felt.
Yeah. Or they'll touch you and you're like, kiss, don't touch me, they will come Oh, so people that don't know how to kiss, they want to have to say it.
Have you met those people that want to kiss and they just want to pour saliva in
You want to chew your tongue?
You want to swallow your gum? Right? These are things that are so important. Well, beyond we're talking about potential, life ambition, goals and dreams. Can we like to see each other? Let me know if you hand rubbing makeup to talk. Let me know if you have you seen.
You want to do the chest?
Is it filter? Like me now, queen of filters. But is it filter? Right? Like there was this video that my husband and I were watching. This is a makeup video, and this lady has like Ibadan lines, those ones, like so. But when she makes up, you can't tell. Like she wears enough layers of makeup that you cannot tell that she has tribal marks. I'm not trying to ridicule her, but if you're going to marry that person, you need to know.
You need to know. I mean, that person does not tell you that person is also a criminal. They have tribal mark. Is that why I feel the need? Are you blind to say more? No. Because it's too bad. No. One being is if they're always wearing makeup like she said, I'm asking it. Are they? You tendency like, and they never see him like, do you know how much should have insisted? Voila.
Yeah. Like, I actually am with Femio.
They don't need to like tell you that I actually have.
Why should it be a experience?
Is it disability? This is no. It doesn't have to transferable to the children. No. But then if you not the children to see be no. There's no way. So now, Tribal Max can look beautiful, right? That's a different discussion. But if somebody has Tribal Max, please be cool. You have to still somehow and rose. How can you not this piano observer? That's a headache. That is piano observant. But like, what if person is always wearing makeup? Then I've got cover makeup in the marriage.
It's not. It should not. Do you know that word? It should not be a deal breaker. It should not be a deal breaker. It shouldn't, because you're not marrying the marks on her face, right? Right? And it's not a disability. It's not saying it prevents her from loving you or doing everything, right? So she doesn't need to disclose. Or it is good to see the person. Remember that conversation we had about spending the night?
Yeah. They are very nice.
No, you do, because if you meet her outside,
she's telling you makeup. Let me tell you. So you know that Pop the Balloon show. This is. I think it's because of things like this. That's why some of those made on the show be like, no, we would like to kiss see without the makeup. Actually, there's some guys I'll ask. They say, so like, how many layers? Actually, there were some guys that popped the balloon because they just felt like the makeup was so heavy and they just want their women natural, right?
Yeah.
So, I feel like if you're dating, like if you're dating a girl that is like always made up every time, like when we're doing our long distance relationship, sometimes just wake up in the morning, like you should be able to see it on video.
Yeah, because you don't have tribal marks, ma'am.
You have tribal mark, you wake up very early and do
try to be conscious about
this person still like, but it's important to be like comfortable in the way you are.
That's it. Like make cover tribal mark.
Do you know what? Let's even leave tribal mark. You know that there's some people that don't let anyone see them until they are fully done. Yes, not because they are ugly or they have anything to hide. That's just who they are.
I get it. No, I know there's some people like that. I mean, that's a different discussion because I feel like everybody should be comfortable. You have something in there. You're not sure.
Yeah. No. You are missing.
But that's a different conversation.
You are missing something. They are comfortable with their normal face. but not to the outside world.
They are not comfortable. I read of the argument. If you can't show your depth to the outside world, then it's like when the mask every time you come out of the way you're alone, you know. So I can't just wake up and there's emergency I rush out. I have to do makeup. No.
This thing you just said reminds me of what a situation that happened when I was in school, right? There was this girl that they said, so in my school they used to give a an award for Miss Bean, and they needed to find out who was the vainest person. So that day she had slept off, but she always used to sleep with lip gloss and like this thing. This was secondary school, mind you, so we were under 18. And then so her dumb girls had planned that they wanted to test if she was the most vain girl, so they started shouting in like midnight, fire, 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 right? Guess what this girl did? She actually woke up, ran to her locker to put on lip gloss before she then said, there's fire. That was it. Sounds like it.
No comment. So
My point is, there are people like that, and she's gorgeous. This person I'm talking about, she's like,
That's what I said. They need to be comfortable in their own skin. I feel like it needs to be some kind of requirements where you are dating. Like you need to know yourself. You need to be comfortable with yourself before you now go and give yourself somebody else. Because that's why if that person is always validating you all the time, then everything they do say, that's how you become, tethered to them for the rest of your life because this person accepted you. But you need to accept yourself first in the way you are before you now say, I'm ready to date. That's a different discussion. But yeah, like it's important because if I've dated somebody long distance, 6 months, I ask you, but every time I see you, I always make block up. I ask you one day, this can we?
we'll go swimming, deep dive swimming.
don't say they could have gone swimming that they couldn't
The makeup now they are making makeup yes, that is water resistant.
No, I can't tell the water is, but like to that level, this one had witnessed it. Now I'm going to water pack with all the canoeing and heritage shells. Okay, so another thing, right? Is a bit unfair that we're talking about the women in makeup.
Yeah.
I feel like men too have things that they hide now. Like because when you're talking to someone on calls, you're only seeing like from the chest up. You don't know those men that have like very ugly tummies.
Or the ones that tell you that they are six pack and they go six pack. Okay.
I have been dreaming. I've been dreaming about the 6-pack.
Oh, yo. Well, how about those ones that have some kind of bole?
I was about to be.
You can't know that one until you meet them.
Yes.
And they will obviously they'll feel uncomfortable. But here's the thing: if you're doing all this relationship, for it to work, if you really care about the success of that relationship, I feel like you need to be able to disclose certain things.
If you really want to find that, come and see.
No, of course you can't say, no, but I understand most of your life.
Too bad. That's the collateral damage for long distance.
The first edition, like, it wasn't even out of anything. Me, I was just out of curiosity. Like, go take a full, men don't like take.
So you know that there's filter, there is Adobe Photoshop.
Now that those things exist, then back then it existed, but it wasn't available to everybody, right? So unless you are in that business of criminal enterprise, you're not going to go and completely package yourself. It's social media made everything so.
No, now your boyfriend asks for a picture, you now send the ras one. No, you package it, not just the bumble with it, just this attention.
Have you guys seen Facetune with that honesty? I've seen it. Facetune. With Facetune, you can adjust your eyebrows, your eye color, your nose, can slim your face, can make your waist. You can do everything. And so,
I need to have to pay for it.
you get like photos are not good there.
Free
So, yeah, I can't even trust a video because I know
it's harder now. It's back in our own time. I think it was easier. Now, if my child wants to do long distance, me say I will be shaking. That's because this person must come. At least, or we have to see the person physically at some point. So here's the thing: for a lot of people that do long distance relationship, people that are really serious about it, I feel like they used to have an ultimatum. At what point when they meet? Yes, because it's almost unrealistic to
date the person, get engaged to the person, and marry the person before seeing the person.
Okay, hold on. Can I ask you? This ultimatum, do you think it should happen sooner in the relationship than later?
Well, it's up to each person to decide what they are comfortable with. But me, I always think like 6 months in max. Like you should be able to like at least physically see the person. Now there are other reasons why some people are not able to like do it right, like see themselves right away. There are some people I know they doing long distance, like all through uni, she was long distance with this person, and the person too was like, and then after uni, papers not processed. Like they just visit though, nothing was working until maybe like I don't know, I did it for like 7 years. Yeah, we're actually able to see each other now. Time and chance, I think, determines at what point you set your own ultimatum as a person. For me, if both of us can figure out a way, like if we're in cities or in countries where we can see like it's a travel to see each other, there's no excuse we give me that will make me feel like, oh, we should just be doing this long distance. No, we have to meet, right? But if there's maybe situations, maybe visas not processing, something is not happening, then, maybe if you're also like young, if you're young, then maybe you can wait. If you're young and you are not getting any jitters because there are other people around you, and you get to meet other people around you, and you don't want to like shut everybody else out while you're waiting for this one person, right? So there has to be ultimatums.
I'm talking about those people there. So there's this now this is Christendom. So there was this story I was watching. Basically, he's American, but he's a missionary. So he was somewhere in South America, and she's Nigerian, right? They're not met each other. They used to be on prayer calls together. And then he said he had a vision that she's his wife. She too had a word from God that she was getting married, blah, 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 but they had never met. And the first time, so he said over time, he calls her on phone and says, I think God wants us to be in a relationship and get married. Anyway, very short time afterwards, the first time he went to Nigeria to visit her, he got married. In my mind, I'm thinking, I believe that God speaks to the people, but isn't that a bit drastic?
If he got that he should clear lot of good at him, but that's why I said there has to be. There was the time I said there has to be a certain kind of conviction for certain types of relationships and marriage. Now everybody will you accept your own. If you do something, you face the consequences yourself. You should be able to know what you really want, and if God is really the one speaking to you, not your not your emotions or whatever it is. If that's the case, I mean, there are lots of people who did long distance relationship that are doing really well.
And each other when got married the first time they saw it.
They're people. I mean, I don't want to say it no.
If you're any of this purpose, drop an email in the comments.
You see, like, because it's important, yeah.
You know what, guys? We've been talking about like relationships. How about those people who are already in marriages? I was just going to say that.
And this one, they're already in it forever and ever. And then something happens and they have to be in different cities for a little while. And this happens. Actually, this is common.
Because of work.
So what do we do about that?
Work, relocation, different.
No, me, I don't have experience with that one because me, I did I did the first one and I made up my mind. And I like, it was something that I was very, very aware of. I was just like, I do not want to have a long distance marriage because I've done a long distance relationship and it's hard. So I can't imagine long distance marriage. But there are lots of people that do long distance marriages.
So at least in this marriage one, they've seen each other. Some of them even have kids. They've met, so we're not worried about all the physical things and the stuff we're talking about in dating. Now is a different dynamics. How to keep the marriage going with the distance. So there are a lot of factors involved. Like we said for dating, trust. You cannot be in a long distance marriage without trust. You have to trust your partner.
What are the things they need to do to make sure that that's trust? Because let me tell you,
it can come last like this. What happens?
I'm waiting for the analysis of what they need to do.
Yeah, because like I've always asked myself, like, the people that actually do long distance marriage, how do they survive? Because like me personally, like my head would just be spinning half the time. I'm not a
super jealous person. I'm jealous enough.
Hey, I've never seen that side of you.
Do you not see?
husband now.
You're not my husband. It's one of the reasons why I'm very intentional about like my husband. Like you can't be out for more than like not within the city. Like but you travel 1 month. You're away. Hey God.
Yeah.
So if you are not communicating with me every 2 seconds,
you're up to something.
not like you're up to something, but it's just for me. I think it's just my mind would just be reeling. Like I'll just be imagining
right
things.
now. What's going on?
Yes, like especially like this age, and I'm like, the devil is so wicked. You know, like well, he's always been wicked, but like people are now more wicked. Like nobody cares about your marriage, right? They only care about what they want to get, or like I don't know, like it could just be anything. It could just be anything. How do people do it?
Kuba is like she has a lot to say.
I actually have zero to say because
So why
I know
do
it cannot
you know
be
people
me
that will do
and my
it.
household.
That will do it.
No,
You're always following yourself up and down.
No, circumstances won't happen. Anything
How do
can
you
happen.
survive?
What is the circumstance? You got a job that requires you to go.
Move.
We are all going.
Yes, that's where I am too.
So if
that thing is going to be longer than 2 months,
so if you are all
we're
going
together.
they've processed his visa, but if people's own is delaying.
No.
That one is a temporary something though.
No, that is
one
not
can be
like do you
temporary.
get if it is
Like-
longer than 60 days, even that 60 days is too long.
It's short now. So
No,
visa
even that
process
60
takes
days-
6 months.
Even that 60 days is too long.
Eh.
For me, we're all going.
So he will lose that $1 million deal because he cannot wait for 6 months.
I'm sorry. That's
This is going to change the destiny.
I don't care.
Your destiny.
I don't care. Do you know why? I've seen several relationships that just that gap of living apart. All of a sudden they can't stay together again.
For 6 months only.
Yes.
It does things. I think it depends on. So I think we might be thinking about it maybe because I'm not used to, like, I've not done long distance marriage. If the worst that happens like a few weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever weeks, but like the people that do it 6 months continuously, 1 year.
To
2
be
years.
honest, that long distance in marriage is not ideal. Is not God's ideal plan for a married couple because you're leaving gap for a lot of things to come in, temptation and all sorts, right? There's that, and then you have to put in the extra work. Communication and all that. If not, you will be drifting apart slowly. So I see where Kome is coming from. Just that Kome is an extreme move.
At 60 days. No, but I feel like this is one of the reasons why a lot of marriages do not survive.
Yeah.
It's because of long distance marriage. I think that people should not be doing long distance marriages. I'm sorry.
Of course.
If my husband gets a posting to go and work somewhere, we are all.
You don't understand. Normally, they process for the PA first. Family zone, there is now delay that is taking up to 6 months.
That will not happen. That's fine, but like that one, we need to make sure like.
That's what I'm talking about now. So your husband gets a posting, his own visa is ready, and he needs to go and start. He has a deadline to go and start, or even if he's not posting contract and all that. Now your own and your kids' zone is taking up to 6 months to come out.
So now, which country is going to take?
No. I've seen many people. Even a lot of people that even go to UK. A lot of them, it has happened to them.
I tell you, even Canada.
I know many. Even Canada. Canada is worse with spousal.
Yeah,
it happens a lot. Yes, some people have waited 2 years, 3 years for spouse, and
especially like it depends on the conditions around it. Like, so I think for Canada, like maybe now they allow the spouse to work. In the US, same thing. I don't think you can work. So unless the job that your spouse gets is enough to take care of all of you guys, including the kids, then you all move at once.
No, this one is not a matter of moving. The people I know, it's like we met in Nigeria. I'm already a PR. I get married to you, and I'm coming back to my job in Canada. I'm processing your paper. Some people have waited 3 years for that spouse's paper to be ready. So would I now leave my bags and go back to Nigeria?
There's always the option of like, as a spouse, you can go stay with your kids. You can stay on some kind of.
You don't understand. For people living in Nigeria, a lot of their visitors visas are not even granted to come and see their spouse while the spousal is processing. I'm telling you, I know people personally.
Do you know something?
So what did
I know that there are certain extreme situations. Remember the question you asked is, can you? No. Right? So now
no. So now give us context. In that situation,
You just got married to this person.
Yeah.
He's normally based in Canada.
Yeah.
Right? And then you guys got married in Nigeria. He came back, experiencing your papers. You guys started to take 6 months. 6 months have passed, no show. And you're married, remember. 1 month has 1 year has passed, no show. 1.5 years, 2 years. So what do you do?
So do you know what?
Maybe we'll all move.
Maybe we'll come back to Nigeria.
So hold on.
But let us.
There are different stages of life here. You're just getting married. So there are no children. There's no school run. Right? At that point, I feel like there's still a little bit, there's a reduction in the amount of pressure that one parent will have to shoulder if the other person was not around. Number one. Number two is they thought it would take 6 months, and then that is outside of their power. I'm talking of situations that is within your power.
No. Let's finish with the one
So,
that's outside of
so
your power.
for me, I'm talking of situations within your power. For people that it's
Okay, if
outside
it's
their
outside
power,
your
there's
power.
nothing they can do.
No, if it was you and it was outside your power, what would you do?
For me, if I was living in a different country and I know that we will do that process before we actually get married.
No. You have to marry to file for your spouse.
No,
You cannot file for your spouse without getting married.
Basically, go back and say that opportunity is gone.
It's not going. It won't work for me.
No.
For me, it won't work.
That's what she
I don't.
So
like-
you ask him to forget about being a PR in Canada and come and live in Nigeria, or what?
So you know that there's several routes to come.
There has to be options.
There has to be an option, and there is also the option of we can both travel to another country to see each other temporarily, spend a little bit, maybe like a
That was
month
what
in
some
a
couples
year
I know
or
used to
two.
do. They just go and meet in Dubai. But it's only for a few weeks and they're back.
Right.
Right?
At least that is even that is better than that is in a situation that is outside their control. At least they're doing the best they can. But for me, if I'm considering the fact that you guys say, "Oh, Canada takes so long," for me, can you sort out your papers before you say "I do"?
No, it's difficult except you want to claim common law partner.
No.
Which you have to prove.
See,
in
no,
many
You
different
can't. You
ways.
can't.
can
Like
look
so.
for other
Part of
options.
those are part of the things that we did. Is like I made up my mind. I'm not going to do long distance
Nigerian
marriage. It's not going to happen.
You're not with the Nigerian wife.
So when things started working out, there was a choice. Okay, do you stay back and like if it happens, like you get married, whatever, and you now have to wait for your papers? I'm like, no, let's get everything done now. Before
So what did you guys now do?
you just do court wedding.
Exactly. Some people
do
would
court
do
wedding.
court
That's
wedding
an
and-
option. Like you have to figure it out.
before you get into
So
it.
what I'm saying is there's so many people that figured it out. They did that court wedding in Nigeria. By the time they put in their papers, it took longer than expected.
And those are out. So that's outside.
So
of-
then you now have to. So
Yeah.
now I'm now asking for people in this situation, what do you suggest they do
do.
to keep that marriage going while they are waiting for that?
You locate MFM first
honestly, I think
No,
communication
yeah.
is the biggest. I think communication and like communication. And when I say communication, it's not like you call the person every, I don't know, every 2 days. In fact, every day when you come back, so you go to work, Abby, you work for a whole day. When you come back, Shebina, there's Google,
Google Meet,
Google Home,
there's Zoom.
Google Zoom, there's Zoom. There's so many resources. Just leave the camera on. We are going to be on phone call till you go to bed
Yeah.
every day.
And you
Honestly-
honestly say I'm going out and you
And no, like if you're going somewhere, we have to like when you get there, call me because part of it is also like I just want to make sure that you're safe, but at the same time, I need peace of mind. Not because I don't trust you, but like a little bit of peace of mind is important. So communication is the biggest part. I feel like when it comes to stuff like that is don't leave any room for anybody to slide in anything there.
But this is the biggest problem. Most women might be open to this.
Yeah.
Most men will
Might-
say, "Why are you
why are you
monitoring me?"
monitoring me?
That
Yes,
marriage is
yes.
over for me as far as I'm
Yeah,
concerned.
that's that. No, like if
can't.
you're a guy, please, you got to do what you have to. Like you have to communicate. If your wife says this is what I need, you're already in the marriage forever and ever. I mean, that's your goal, right? Unless that's not your goal, but that's your goal. If whatever she wants or needs to feel secure in that distance, you have to
If
do
you know you
it.
cannot provide it, please carry your load and be going.
You have to be accountable because
Gotta
some men
be.
will use
Yeah.
that as
Yeah.
an opportunity
Gotta be.
to
So why you monitoring?
misbehave.
It's hard.
Yeah, why you
Do you know?
monitoring
Do
this?
you know? There's some stories like you will read, like there was this one. I don't even remember the full details. The guy sold their house, and then
they were all working on this whole US thing together. The guy sold their house on top of US's thing, went to US, and then got there, and the woman didn't even know that he already sold the house, right? So when he got there, he says not doing anymore.
Oh wow.
The woman and the child, I don't know if it was 1 or 2 kids she had. That was the end of the marriage. She says not doing anymore. That was the end of the marriage.
Just because he left the US, maybe he never really loved her.
No, but
That
that's
was so fast.
the funny thing about marriage and relationships in general is a lot of people, you don't really know what's in their hearts.
From
You don't know what's in their heart before they got married. So when they get, honestly, that's a whole nother headache to worry about. But if you guys have a genuine relationship, genuine marriage, whatever it is, do your very best to not even leave room for that distance, especially when you're now in marriage.
So let me ask the question about those people that cannot help it. But for people that can help it,
That's what I'm saying.
it is option
Zero.
Don't give it an
0
option.
over 0.
Yeah,
Don't go near
honestly,
it.
don't give it an option. Like, we're not talking about the 1 week, 2 week, like, okay, I want to go for a conference there, I want to go and do that. That's different. But like, your husband will now have an apartment in another place.
Especially all those people, that all these passport sponsorship, we're talking about legal migration. What about those illegal people? I use visiting visa to enter, and I'm hoping that I will do something.
You're calling us there.
That one is very.
It's very common. Most times when your husband or your wife has gone there, forget it. That marriage is gone. It's as good as done, because
Especially if their moral standing is enough.
Yeah.
Do you know there's this one where they'll say the husband and the wife will even agree.
that they should go and marry somebody else.
Hey,
For papers therapy.
What of them is? But this is so common.
Yeah.
If you're a woman, because if somebody suggests this to you or to your,
It's a big
never
no.
agree.
Because you know that I know a situation like that. So he had been dating this girl long term. This was the UK. Had been dating the girl long term, but she was in Nigeria. So he did arrange with a British girl.
Jesus.
His wife was aware, and then how do I explain it? His wife, meaning the white woman, was aware of this babe, and then eventually this babe came to the UK on a study visa. They were all living together. In my mind, I'm thinking, surely Jack.
Wait, what did he tell the white woman?
That this is the person he wants to marry, but she is the wife of convenience now.
So the white woman is in on it too.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they were all living together. In fact, when
She probably gets money.
Obviously,
yeah,
they
she's
have to
getting
pay
money.
yes, yeah.
But for me, that is the absolute messiest.
Well, we're not those.
situation.
Yeah, those are not like kingdom marriages. Those are like those are just like.
I feel like if
A
you
lot of
understand the
marriages,
meaning of marriage,
Yeah.
you will not allow your husband to marry somebody for papers. Like, papers is not the end of the world. Papers is not a route to
When you
wealth.
now reach the US and Canada, is it heaven? Will you pick gold on the floor? They have to go through all this stress.
It is
There's
not,
still the stress. Oh my
it
god.
is not
Yeah.
a good part for me. Do you know that that's the problem I have with people that do arrange, and you now be in church lifting up holy hands? I'm not judging you, but if you understand the meaning of marriage, you will not agree to say I do to somebody else because of papers.
Yeah.
Like, there are so many ways. I did not arrange it to get my papers, and I strongly believe that where there's a will, there's a way. Do it legally, or stay in your country.
Nigeria is really not biting people, you know. They not chase us away like that.
This discussion we can keep going and going, but let's do a few
some
cookie
cookie
jar questions, okay? Okay, I'll go first. Let me be like you the last time. I'll go first.
That's really good.
All right. Who handles long distance better, men or women? Be honest.
I feel like men handle it better because they get the opportunity to do the nonsense they are doing.
That's not handling it well.
What is handling it well now? They are not missing. For a lot of people, very few men can stay true
Yeah.
in like those like 1 year, 2 year long distance. So he's keeping himself happy. Like you are forming Virgin Mary.
But let's
is
assume
stupid?
let's assume it's a guy that I'm trying to not label them too much as like, oh, they're always gonna. Let's assume it's a guy who's level-headed, is not, sleeping around or whatever, who's looking for that convenience. When it just comes to emotional, like the way their mind works versus the way women's mind works, I think men do handle it better.
Oh, generally.
Because I think that they know how to process. There must be something in the way they process their emotions that women don't know how to do. Like for me, like if anything happens, like I'm like in panic mode. I've called. In fact, you can go and call all the family members and say, "Have you heard from this person today?" Just because they didn't pick up their phone, maybe because they were in an important meeting or something like that, or they slept off. But like men, unless it's an insecure man, outside of that, like usually they handle it better.
How many men have you ever heard say, "I just need someone to hold me right now"?
Yes. You never.
Have you heard it
I don't
before?
think you ever see them.
So basically, they are built differently.
Yeah.
And because they are built differently, they don't need that emotional connection the way we need, that physical connection. The way sometimes you don't even know what is going on with you, and just him hugging you and saying, calm down, is good enough. How many men have you heard say that one?
Yeah, they just know how to like figure themselves out. Okay.
Tim, what did I do to you today? Would you ever consider a temporary hall pass while doing long distance? Which one is hall pass? I'm innocent. Which one is temporary hall pass?
No, but let's address it. Would you say, because you've been away for a whole year and you're feeling lonely, okay, just find one hottie to just take care of you for the night?
No. Personally, I wouldn't. No, not me. I don't do hottie for the night.
What is that when somebody that person will not go and catch something else? Anyway, that's a different discussion.
Would you be okay if your partner made a new best friend while you were gone? Just get the best friend that keep moving forward.
Why didn't you ask if it's male or female? You couldn't say what if the guy
bro?
Hey?
I should be your best friend.
It could be the other. That one.
It could be a guy now. What's wrong with you having a guy friend?
Hey, please, I cannot even address that. Please, can you just move?
No, I'm not cutting be best friends with that. It's okay. Hey, God, dude.
I'll pick one more. I'll pick one more. All right. Would you relocate without your partner if it meant a better life? Okay, so are they already married? This is the one we're talking about earlier. Would you relocate without your partner if it meant a better life? So if it's me, this one's hard. It depends on how hard life was before the better came along.
Can I jump in here?
Yeah.
I have a big problem with people thinking that it's greener pastures
On the other side.
No, I get it. Yeah.
If the truth is, you can make it anywhere you are. It might seem easier here, but do you know how many people are doing 3 jobs abroad?
Yeah, but what if it's within the same country now? Do you know this one even happens in Nigeria all the time?
Yeah.
Like
from Lagos to
in
Abuja.
fact, a lot of our families, like that's how they grew. That's how they grew up, right? Like I grew up with
Daddy
like
had
a
to
long
be away
distance.
for a while, or mommy
Daddy
had to
was
be away or
away,
something.
mommy was away, all that whole kinds of things. That happens.
Yeah.
Do you know, I don't know anybody that came from that kind of family that it worked for. That they were happy.
My mommy had to move, like she works in NMPC, so towards the end of her career, they first of all moved up to Abuja for 3-4 years, which is why I stayed in Abuja for a year, random, because I went to Abuja then. Then after that, they moved her to Benin for another 2 years before she retired.
So all that time she was moving, were you guys still young?
I just said, okay, sorry, my bad, I didn't give context to the age. I was in university at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
a
And our
big
last
difference.
born was in secondary school.
That's
That's the
already
difference.
yeah.
I feel like there's a very big problem where you have young kids.
Okay, so what you are saying is, if the family is older or more mature, is not bad.
It's not bad
Family.
actually. Yes, I know somebody who got an opportunity outside of, this was outside of country, but not like US, Canada, not all these popular countries, just outside of the country. And because her kids were young, it was a thing of I just have to pause on that dream for right now. It was her dream job, right? She just had to pause on it. And then, you know what's interesting is, like, when the kids were now all older, the same opportunity came in a bigger way for her to do it, and then she was able to do it now. And they were still able to manage their long distance. Like they'll, like, go visit them. When we go visit them, like they're able to like they're also on the camera. The two, like the husband, the wife, they're always on the camera in the house. It's 24/7 there, right? So it makes sense. So it's almost like you're waiting for the relationship to mature.
What is for you is for you.
Yeah.
If it goes, then it wasn't meant for you.
Yeah.
So even if they come now and offer my husband a $1 billion job, and that requires him going to Sudan, Kuwait, I don't care what country. If we cannot go together, then that is not a God opportunity. That is the opportunity that the devil has sent to distract and destroy.
I agree.
And sometimes discernment is so important that the fact that money is involved does not make it right.
Very true. Very true. I totally agree with that, actually. I agree with that.
Is a long distance marriage still a marriage if you haven't touched each other in 6 months?
This was next level.
Like,
Oh my God. You haven't touched each other.
In 6 months now. Wow.
Well, thankfully, I said at the beginning, the ultimatum was 6 months, right? At least you should see each other. Now, there are different kinds of touches. If it's just a touch, you know, 6 months, we can touch.
Well, it depends. Like Temi said, it's 6 months the deadline, or we will still go another 6 months without touching ourselves. And there's chances that the man is obviously touching something else. Something else.
What are they?
So it depends on it really depends on your dynamics as a couple, to be honest, right? And some people get creative, you know, long distance, they try and do, I don't know, maybe some other stuff. They said there is something called sexting and all these things. So some people might explore that, but obviously it can never be like the real thing. So the truth is, you guys should make time to see, even if it's meeting in another city, whatever, where possible, make time to see each other. It's not healthy for you to be that long without any physical contact,
especially when you're in a marriage.
Especially marriage where you are committed to that person is not healthy at all. So it's still a marriage, but it depends on how they handle it.
I'm sorry to say this, but if they're in a marriage and they haven't seen each other for 6 months, 1 year, is it sensible to say that at least one person is cheating?
Because of why they have not seen each other.
And somebody got a job abroad. They're now living in different places. Papers have not clicked.
It doesn't always mean, like, for example, if I was the one in the situation, I want you to, and I'll flee from every appearance of evil. It's true now, because this thing takes commitment. If you know you don't want to, you don't find yourself in a situation. If there's one male friend that's trying to be nice, whatever, so that is one thing we forgot to talk about: boundaries. In long distance relationships, boundaries are important. If you don't set those boundaries, you will fall.
Anybody will enter. Office. He's my office.
You understand? Sometimes you might even have to take more extreme measures. For example, let's say normally if you are living with your husband, you could accept a lift from someone to drop you somewhere. Because you know your husband is 10,000 miles. You don't accept any lift.
It's true.
Take a ladder or take the bus. It's better to avoid any stories.
It's very true. It's very
true. Don't say that the winter is getting too cold. I just need you to come and check the thermostat in my house.
Do check the thermostat.
Don't get too comfortable or too confident in yourself in that way.
Yes, because you can fall and you probably, it's never planned. Well, some people it's planned.
Let's take our last one.
This is well. Is it fair to expect loyalty if you're in different countries for years?
How you be in different countries
to expect loyalty?
To expect loyalty for years.
I don't know. I don't think it's possible.
It's not possible.
If you are already married, you took vows, you have to do it too.
Well, you expect
yourself to come. Then you expect it to come together.
It's just that your mind will still be thinking about it. Like, I don't think this person is loyal to me, unless, of course, you
guys have to go the extra mile for accountability. Like Temi said, cameras in the house. Maybe should even clone each other's phones.
I don't want to be.
The only thing is, once the person leaves the house, what happens?
No, of course, there's that, but there's still communication, keeping in touch, making sure that person has no room for it. And meanwhile, this is just we're saying if this is something outside of your control. I still go with Comer's point, where if it's in your control, choose your marriage first. Very important. If it's not outside your control,
I hope somebody is not going to give me name of Ruth Abokoko, because
no. You're already Ruth Abokoko, you just don't have Ruth as your name. It's a good thing.
to hear that gunshot I just well done, Tammy.
It's a good thing though. It's a very good thing. It's a very good thing. But no, honestly, do you realize that we didn't even talk about love? Like, is there anything called love in long distance relationships?
They can love each other. They can love each other very much. But the problem of we humans is out of sight.
It's out of mind.
It's out of mind a lot of times. Even things you thought you wouldn't do, you start doing. So, like the guy, like the relationship I talked about, I wasn't doing anything yet. But the constant suspicion, the constant fighting, eventually broke the relationship.
Yeah.
And so that's a relationship. Imagine if it was a marriage and you're constantly fighting. Oh, you said you were going to call me by 7, you didn't call me by 7. What were you doing? And the person says, oh, I was in traffic, and you're like, what kind of nonsense traffic? Or the person says, my phone died, I left my charger at home. And you find that you're constantly fighting. It's only a matter of time before that marriage is broken.
It's true. It's true. It's true.
So bottom line, where possible, avoid long distance relationship or marriage is not recommended.
Yeah. And if you ever find yourself and if you ever find yourself in it, make sure that you communicate, you set boundaries. What else did we say?
Be accountable, both partners.
Very
so
good.
when you are going out, tell the person, I'm going here, I'm going to this place, I'll be back by this time. If you are late, say I'm running late, I'm coming home. That accountability matters for building trust. If not,
that's the end, and that's an opportunity for all kinds of complications to get into there. All right.
Wait, so for people that the husband now says, why are you monitoring me? What should you do?
There's no monitoring if you are the one saying it by yourself. Monitoring starts when you're not saying, and I have to be asking, where are you? But if before I ask you, already say, oh, I'm here. In fact, you even do video call and say, hi, see me here. I won't need to ask any question. You have answered all my questions that I have in my mind. So that's where sense comes in. Don't wait until
use your sense.
Getting hot. So if it is now a situation where he's not giving her that, and she happens to be the one that is always asking, what would you advise this woman to do?
To have a talk with him and say, see, you have to be accountable. I don't enjoy asking you because it makes me look like a controller. So you have to be the one to,
if he's still not accountable, then I'll go with like comment. You know that thing Comment always says, start planning for yourself.
Have next money,
emergency fund. You know, it's very real.
It's real.
Like no, honestly speaking, if you know that you're in that, like if you know that you're in that situation where your partner is not being accountable, is not willing to level up with you on this stuff, because I mean you're already there, you're already in the situation. This is time for you to start thinking about yourself and your kids, plan your you don't have to end it. You're just
Preparing yourself. Worst case.
You know that it was me, I would end it.
I don't subscribe to ending it. Well, I'll try other avenues with you ending it. I don't subscribe to ending it unless the person gives you a reason to end it.
Do you know why? It might sound premature, but like situations where you said it takes like almost 3 years, and maybe by month 2 or 3 you can see that this guy is not willing to change, he's not willing to be accountable. I don't want to be the one waiting in another country for the other shoe to drop. But I'll just...
So another thing you can do is, so when he does that, start detaching yourself small. Then start giving him back his own medicine. You go out, you now be MIA for like 6 hours. You now come out like, oh, I just went out with the guys. Oh, why didn't you tell me? Oh, did you tell me when you go out? So you see how it is. You do it like 3 more times, you get the message.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't get the message, it means he's not interested. So you've seen your sign.
Yeah.
I rest my case.
All right. Time to pick for the audience. And we would really love to hear what you think in the comments. If you've been following us and you've been watching our videos and you've not subscribed yet, we're begging again. What are you waiting for? Have you not been enjoying this gist? Have you not been learning something? Please follow us. I would like to hear what you think about this question. This question's for you. If there is no physical touch, is it still a real relationship?
Or is it not an imaginary one?
Or is it an imaginary boyfriend?
Those person that you have not touched. You don't even know what they look like. Nothing. You only see them on camera all the time. It's as good as an imaginary friend.
You answered the question.
Oh, sorry.
At least let us
told you where she stands.
Let's hear from you in the comments, okay? And hope you really enjoyed today's episode. And we'll see you again next time. Bye.